On Saturday the 13th of December 2020, I made my way to Loftus railway station to go to this Sydney Tramway Museum. Unfortunately, there was buses replacing trains on this weekend. One thing to note is that the Sydney Tramway Museum may not be accessible by the railway to wheelchair-bound passengers, as there is only a ramp up over the railway at Loftus station. Although the tram rides offered use the old heritage rolling stock, which is not wheelchair accessible in any case. There is ramp access to the display hall. As you get to the entrance of the Sydney Tramway Museum, you come upon an old tram stop, which was originally located at Miranda, where the steam trains would take passengers from Sutherland to Cronulla. A gentleman sitting on the bench in the tram stop sells tickets to the Sydney Tramway Museum. This signal box once stood on the corner of Elizabeth and Liverpool Streets in Sydney. The tram rides depart from this large waiting stand, which was once located on Railway Square near Sydney Central Station. Getting on the tram was a job and a half for a big unit with short legs like me. Apparently there was a step somewhere though. Today's tram ride takes us from the Railway Square seating north past the Miranda tram stop shelter, out of the museum grounds, then follows Rawson Avenue along its own dedicated path and terminates at a stop just south of the Sutherland to Cronulla train line. While I'm on this tram ride, let's give you some history on the New South Wales Tramway Museum. The Sydney Tramway Museum became a concept in the 1950s, but it was not opened until 1957 on a site on the other side of the Princes Highway from its current location. The current location was built in the 1980s and was opened in 1988. The Sydney Tramway Museum started in the 1950s as a non-profit organisation run by volunteers, and this structure has remained to this day. The tram we are travelling on today is an O-Class tram which has been in the museum's collection since 1958. The O-Class trams were built between 1907 and 1914 by the Meadowbank Manufacturing Company. At the height of train usage, these trams were one of the most popular trams to travel through Sydney and were known as toast racks for their seating arrangement. According to the Sydney Tramway Museum, their eventual goal is to extend the tramway under the rail bridge to the old tramway building at Sutherland. I mentioned this building in my video for the Illawarra line. After the tram stops for a few minutes, the guard and driver switch ends and go back towards the museum. The tram takes you past the museum and stops before crossing the Princes Highway, before the driver and the guard switch ends once again and we head back to the starting point. These tram rides are supposed to go through to the old Royal National Park railway station near Audley. However, due to the track requiring repairs, the trams are unable to go into the Royal National Park at this time. The adjacent tram is the Y1 class tram, which were the first trams in Melbourne that were able to be operated by one person. They were withdrawn from service in 1965 and were used in driver training, except for a period in 1990 where this very carriage was used in service for a short time. Now to head into the exhibition hall. The exhibition hall has a large array of tram units from around Australia and abroad, as well as an abundance of passenger carriages. The tramway also has some interesting items. This contraption is a counterweight dummy that trams hooked onto to enable the trams to go up and down the steep hills of Balmain. This machine is a tramway rail grinder for the maintenance of the tram network. Built in 1909, this prison tram, which would deliver prisoners to Long Bay Jail or transfer them to the courts if they needed to appear in Darlinghurst. This tram made 4 journeys a day, back and forth, until 1949. Darcy Duggan was charged with multiple counts of armed robbery, but became well known as a multiple jail escapee. In 1946, he stole a butter knife from the jail and took that knife onto the jail tram and proceeded to escape through the canvas roof of the tram and disappeared around the parklands near the Sydney Cricket Ground. Among the museum's collection are these rolls of old Sydney destination boards. Sydney once had a sprawling network of tramways. I wonder if the light rail system will end up that expensive. The museum entry is $20 for adults, $15 for concessions, and $10 for children, with preschool children being free. A family ticket consisting of 2 adults and 1 or more children is available for $50. The ticket also includes unlimited tram rides, which operate from 10:15 through to closing. Due to COVID restrictions, the museum is currently only open on Sundays. It is usually open on Wednesdays and Sundays. I have enjoyed my day at the Sydney Tramway Museum. I suggest that if you are into public transport history, it's well worth a train ticket to Loftus. Time for me to head back to the rail replacement buses and head on home. A reminder to like and subscribe to the Travelling Trent YouTube channel and to hit that bell icon so you will be notified when I put up another video. See you next time. Bye-bye.